So, the other side. So, through all the years that I've been doing my work, I've accumulated all this information from what the guides told me. There's so many times when I'm talking to somebody in the middle of a reading or I'm doing something, and all of a sudden they say something, and I'll go, "What?" I'm like, "What was that? What?" Like, you got to tell me more about this stuff. Or there's situations that happen in my own life that I go into meditation and I ask questions for myself personally. How does it all work? How does it all laid out? Like, how does the other side and your guides and all that, how does it all fit in? So, before you're born, okay, before you guys are born, the number one thing is that I want you to realize, before we get started, I want you to do one thing for me. Throughout this talk, as I say things, I want you to really feel and intuit whether or not what I'm saying is valid. So, do you ever go to like a lecture and you're kind of open to the lecture, but you don't know what the person's going to say, and then you listen and you're like, I don't know if I agree with that, and then you listen some more and you go, I like that. So there's going to be things that I say that's going to hit you. That's going to hit you, right? As it hits you, I want you to realize that your spirit is validating it. Your spirit is telling you this is right, this is true. Does that make sense? If there's anything you don't agree with, by all means, just leave it. Just don't take it with you. But anything that I say gives you goosebumps, gives you validation, you feel it in your heart, know that it is validation of truth. Your spirit is saying, yep, that's how it came to be. Yep, that's how it works. Okay? So remember that as we continue talking and sharing and asking questions and stuff. You're going to feel it. It's amazing. So the first thing I want you to realize when you come to the planet, okay, is you're not just dropped off, okay, in the middle of the world to fend for yourself. You know, you don't just decide to come here and then poof, you're here. And then, okay, it's like you taking a kid to Egypt, dropping them off, and then going back flying home. Like, it's not going to happen. You have an arsenal, a giant toolbox that is given to you to come into this life. It's not haphazard by any means. It's planned out. Your life is planned out. Now, mind you, not every minute of your life is planned out because you have free will. But there are certain points in the timeline. Okay? So you have a timeline of life, right? I should do a roller coaster because that's what life is. Jesus. Okay? And then you have destiny points throughout your lifetime. And these destiny points are contracts. Before you're born, you say, I need to go back to Earth. Why do we do that? I have no idea. But you can choose not to come here, okay? But we come here because there are things that we are meant to learn or master to become better, to become honed, okay? To move towards perfection. So in your lifetime, you're meant to hit these destiny points. But how you get there, right? Boom. It's up to you. You could go right from here to here. Boom, you're done. You got a destiny point, right? Or you can do one of these like I did. Okay? Go all over the place. Take forever to get to your destiny point. Okay? So I want you to realize that free will, this is free will, and that's destiny. And they work together, interwoven.
So if you really take the long route, that destiny point might get like pushed back. Timeline.
It can, because I want you to also realize that so many people think that they're going to miss something that they need to do, and you're not going to miss it. You may push it off, but you're always given another opportunity. You know, God is an equal opportunity employer. So if you miss it the first time, oh, you know what? They didn't hit this one. Let's give it to them again here. Okay? So they're just going to move it down and then give it to you later. But if you're meant to do that, that's charted for you. So if your contract says, I got to meet this person at, and I'd like to meet them at this time, or I have a contract that I have to learn something from this person, those are destiny points. Those are things that you chose to do before you were born. Interesting, isn't it? So after you decide things that you're supposed to do, okay, now that's why you know, it's not always engraved in stone when you're going to leave here, okay, because it all depends on what's going on. You could choose to die. You could choose to kill yourself. Okay, I can't stand it anymore, so I'm gonna do it right here, right? And you left these other destiny points out. Never accomplished that. Okay, people who commit suicide go over to the light. Okay. If they're not a ghost, and we're going to discuss that in a minute, they'll go over to the light and they wait and say, okay, I got to go back in ASAP. I can't hang out on the other side. I can't hang out here. I got to go back in because I need a contract with this person, this place, this thing that I was supposed to accomplish. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like you ditched all these contracts and you got to come back in. So what they have to do on the other side is they got to scramble. So you can't fulfill these destiny points with these certain people in your life because you're not there. So they have to get another set of people connected to each contract, each destiny point, so that you can fulfill your lifetime. Does that make sense?
No, I'm confused. The scenario you gave, somebody checked out early.
Yep.
The guides, the people that they were supposed to touch, their lives that they were supposed to touch, they also have a contract.
Right. With us. Right.
With the person that checked
that just
out,
died.
right? They may not know, but they
Right.
do.
So the guides...
So the guide sends someone else to fill that?
Yeah, so they have to reorganize, re-choreograph, synchronistically, get everybody
Back on track.
back on track. So, did you ever... I'm going to give you an example. Did you ever make a decision that you wanted to do something in your life and you're like, okay, it took me like 2 years to make the decision to do something, and then you do it and then nothing comes for months? Like you feel like you're in the desert. Like you don't get any guidance. You don't see anything flowing. You don't get any paths revealed to you. Like everything is just stagnant, right? Okay. The reason for that is they are working behind the curtain going, okay, she made the decision. This is it, right? And then they have to scramble. They have to scramble and get everything choreographed. Okay? So why is it you make a decision, you wait a few months, and then all of a sudden, everything falls into place, right? It goes boom, 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 boom. You meet this person, you got this place, and blah, blah, blah. That's because they needed to orchestrate it. And that's why you have to be patient. patience is so important with all this.
So is that the lesson that they're teaching us?
We are
Divine timing, patience, wait until the time is synchronistic?
so waiting, patience, divine timing, all boiled down to one thing: surrender. Okay?
There goes that word again.
Surrender.
Really?
Surrender. Surrender means to let go and let God. It means my job is to make the decision, to move forward, to contact this person, to do what I need to do to make the action to step forward. And then we have to wait and be patient so that everything can be choreographed and fall into place. So last week I went into meditation. I was in meditation. I don't know who was here. You were here, right? Last week on Friday. And I got, shh. My master teacher went, shh. And I'm like, okay, I gotta be patient. I can't do anything. I just have to be quiet, still my mind, and stop obsessing. That was my, and sometimes your guys just give you that little tiny message. That's funny, isn't it? So that's what I wanted to just let you know that the things that happen in your life, the people that are in your life, the situations that synchronize in your life, the place that you're in, where you are, it's all working together with free will and destiny. Okay, so they work together. It's kind of like when you see the DNA, see the DNA ladder. That's how destiny and free will go. So before you're here, now you know what points you're supposed to hit. Like I knew I was supposed to be a hairdresser. That was destiny point number 1. Totally. I was like 6 years old and I was cutting all the hair off my Barbie dolls. Okay, so I knew that was a destiny point. I was meant to do that. Somehow, some way, I don't know, that was a destiny. But that would lead to the next, okay? So, because you have these points and this timeline and this plan, you planned out all this stuff. So then you pick your guides. Okay? So you go all through this and you say, I need a hairdresser guide to help me plan out people's hair. Okay? Do I have a hairdresser guide? Do I have one?
Of course you do.
Of course I do! Of course I do! And one day...
Such a silly question.
Oh, I know, okay? So the things that you do in your life, you have asked, you did a lineup before you came here and you said, I need to do this, I need to accomplish this, be on this path, do this kind of work, okay? So I need helpers that are going to do this. So if you need to use a nail and put it in the wall, you need a hammer. So each guide is does a job and is a tool for you. Each guide is a tool. Okay? And you pick your guides. You pick them before you come here. So what they show me is, they showed me, I said, how do we pick them? And they go, we do a lineup. I'm like, you're kidding. No, like a lineup when you go to jail and they do the people. They showed me that. I'm like, you're kidding. I asked my guys, you're kidding. No, they do a lineup. So you have all these people standing in a row, right? Think about it. Each one is a guide. You have between 25 and 32 guides in one lifetime. Okay? So that's not, and they don't all work, it's like your utensil drawer, right? You have your utensil drawer? Do you use all your utensils at the same time? No. It's when you need it, when you need it, when you need it. You make spaghetti, you use your spaghetti thing, right? So lifetimes. So I want you to realize that you picked your guides to work with you in this lifetime. And then each one does a specific job. Okay? So I have a hairdresser guide. That's all she does. And she's a girl because I met her. Okay? She's a hairdresser guide. I know! That's amazing!
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are they here with us, or are they our guides from?
Your guides are your entourage.
But
So
they're not
wherever
physically.
you go,
But I mean, they're not a person in our life that was sent to us to.
no, because
They are in the spiritual world.
then you couldn't have planned your lifetime.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, I'm going to plan to do this, but I got to wait for this person to die before
Okay.
I can do that. And that's kind of ridiculous. Like, that doesn't work. Your loved ones who pass can help. Okay, we're going to get to it in a minute. They can help. But your guides you are their charge. They are devoted to you. Yeah.
When, like, let's say when you're born and stuff, when you're up there, when you're whatever you are up
Choosing your
there,
life.
yeah, choosing your life, can you have, I guess, your best friend be your guide?
Yeah.
Is
if
that a
you-
possibility?
But if you had a best friend in your previous lifetime, in another lifetime you had a best friend, and you're all hanging out,
Mhm.
okay? And you don't hang out on the cloud, by the way. We actually work on the other side,
Oh, okay.
okay? So, and I'll go there in a minute. So, you have a best friend in another lifetime, and you both died from that lifetime, whatever timing it was, but you both end up on the other side. You go, hey, let's do this again.
Wow.
Okay? So, do you want to be my guide or do you want to meet there? Did anybody ever watch What Dreams May Come? You gotta watch it. What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams. Gotta watch that movie. Because in the end, this is exactly what happens. We're going to do this again. So you talk to your best friend and you say, do you want to go into life together and by happenstance meet each other again, make it a destiny point? Or do you want to be my guy? Okay, I have a close friend that her mother died and they were connected in another lifetime. And she died in this lifetime. The mom died for my friend in this lifetime. And then she couldn't talk to her. She kept trying going to psychics and trying to talk to her herself to try and communicate with her mom on the other side. And her mom was busy. Even the guide said she's busy. She can't talk to you. So, yeah. So finally, my friend went to a psychic and the psychic said to her, your mom's a guide for somebody else. So she's working.
Oh.
So when you're at work and you can't answer the phone
Oh.
because you're at work, right? That's what was happening. So my friend was calling her mom.
Oh, I'm upset.
It was busy. The phone line was busy. Do you see what I mean?
And she couldn't stop for a second, just say, hey, I'm good, and go
No.
back?
So if you're going through, think about a time when you're going through something really hard. Do you want your guides to leave you to go answer a phone call from their
No.
kid from their past life?
No.
No, they can't. They're not allowed. So she said, you have to wait until I have a minute that I can leave my charge. When I can leave my charge, then I can talk to you. She did end up connecting with her, but she said she was a guide. So when you pass, you can choose to come back, or you can choose to be somebody's guide.
Can we choose now, or I have to wait till I go?
You have to wait till you go,
Oh.
1, and 2, because you have to make sure that you hit your destiny points. If you don't hit your destiny points in your lifetime, like if you pass, if you commit suicide, right? Say you commit suicide, and you can't be somebody's guide. So this is how I know this, okay? So every single time I do a reading on somebody that somebody committed suicide, even if it was unintentional, they go like this to me. And I said to them, what do you mean it's time? Like, and they're saying to me, I have limited amount of time on the other side. I got to come back in because I got to finish. I didn't finish what I was supposed to do. And I didn't hear that once. I didn't hear that twice. I must have heard it 50 times. Every time I talk to somebody who died on the other side, they say to me, I have limited time here. So they come back as a baby.
Oh, I was just going to ask that.
They come back as a baby.
So they start all over
They
again.
start all over again. So that's why I tell people, don't do it, because you got to do it all over again. You got to do everything all over again.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. So, and it's a different place, and different people, but the people are the same as what you lived in the beginning of that lifetime. It's the same situation. It's the same because you are meant to learn.
Do you ever have like a specific soul that you have like karma that you have to work out with? And then if you were going to do it in that lifetime, would you guys then have to get together again in a future lifetime if you didn't do it this time?
Yeah, if you didn't do it this time, or you could have, okay, so if you were meant to have some type of soul connection with somebody and you committed suicide and you come back in 10 years later, right? And then you grow up, takes you like 10, 20 years till you grow up. So it's 30 years, right? You could then finish out the contract with that person being 30 years older than you. So it could be a mentor, a teacher, somebody, maybe you're born in the same family line, so it's your grandfather.
But what if if it wasn't doable, would the two of you have to have a different life charted together? Like, would you?
And you could.
Would,
So I'll give you an example of that. So in one of my past lifetimes, I was with my husband. I was abducted and killed at 6 years old. And he had to live that whole lifetime by himself. And then we came into this lifetime together. And it was as though, oh my God, he's the one. I need to be with him. I mean, it was so overwhelming that I moved in 3 months. We got engaged 3 months after that, and we got married 6 months later. And then we had a kid in 9 months. I mean, it was just like, that's how I'm saying things work on the right way. It's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like synchronicity after synchronicity. That's when you know you're on the right path. Okay? That was a destiny thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that was 30 years ago. So, some things I can't even answer. Like, how the hell do you organize this? Like,
But if everybody's going all screwy, it's like,
right.
How y'all gonna get together? You're all doing that.
Yeah.
right. So the other thing I want you to realize, okay, and this is important. I had this epiphany probably 2 years ago because I was really looking at myself and my life, and I was looking at, why did I have to go through the things I went through when I was young, when I was contracted, like, to my father? So I had a contract to my father. Why did I have to go through abusive situations with my father? And what they told me was he had the ability to fulfill the contract between us. He had the ability, but he went like this.
Mm-hmm.
He was out of control, okay? So he had ADD, he had borderline personality disorder. He fulfilled a lot of the destiny, but he created chaos. Does that make sense? Okay. And then, so I got what I needed, but I got more than I bargained for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have to get that.
It could have went better.
Right. So, saying this, I want to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. Okay? Saying this, do you understand what I'm saying about contracts and destiny points, right? Okay. You can break a contract with somebody.
I have a question on
Yeah.
the contract. You say before you're born you make these contracts. Are you making them with other people that are here?
You're making
What is the
them.
contract for you to learn what you need to learn? Or for all of you to learn what you need to learn?
So, when somebody passes, who learns from the passing? The person that dies or the people around
The
them?
people around them, I would think.
That's a contract. So that person that died fulfilled a contract to everybody in that room.
Okay.
Okay? So everybody in that room was supposed to experience something from this person that helped them awaken their spirituality.
Okay.
Question, why are we here? Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes.
Okay. So
Really?
yes. So before you come here, so before we came here, I was with my husband on the other side, and I'm like, let's do this again. Okay? So when I'm around between 20 and 30, we're gonna meet up, right? Right? So we could have met 5 years earlier, but I did one of these. I was at a school to learn hairdressing. He was in the school that I was checking out, and I chose another school.
It's so cool.
Okay? So he was upstairs doing hairdressing, and I was down interviewing the teacher to see if I wanted to go to that school. If I would have went to that school, I would have met him. He wouldn't have married his wife, and I wouldn't have been with my boyfriend. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So I dumped my boyfriend before I met him. We weren't getting along. And then he got a divorce, and then destiny point.
So we learned the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I want you to think about what it means with the free will and the destiny. It's a big thing because, the other thing with free will is your guides that you pick cannot affect your free will. Okay? Your guides, they have rules. There's rules on this planet. There's karma. There's polarity. Okay? When you come to Earth, you go, yeah, I know there's going to be good and bad. Yeah, I know there's going to be karma, which means karma isn't good or bad, it's just an outcome. If I throw the snowball through the window and it breaks the window, the police are going to come. That's karma. Okay? You got that? So, an effect, something you do, create a cause and effect. That's part of the Earth. We come to Earth for that.
So are there rules then, like around contracts, are there rules for what permits you to break a contract? Like, are there situations, like only in these certain situations can you break a contract and then otherwise it stays intact, or you can just break it for any reason? Or?
So you can break, and I learned how to do this. So the way you can break a contract with somebody is by recognizing that you have a contract and by understanding what you were meant to learn from the contract. And then you can face the person and say, I thank you very much, and I release you now. So you can say it in your head, you can say it to their face. I thank you, I understand what you meant to teach me in this lifetime, and I'm good, we're done. You can spiritually release someone from a contract. Unbelievable. When you do it, you feel like the picture that I put on Facebook. Do you see the cords coming off? That's how you feel. It's amazing. Okay, so when you release a contract from somebody, you can do it. But if you are still learning and you don't really know what it is, you have to be conscious of it. That's when you can break it. If you think you broke it and you didn't learn it, guess what?
You get another one.
You get another one. You get another person coming in because you didn't learn it. You get another person with the same issues, the same challenges, the same energy that's meant to teach you, and you learn it from somebody else. Different face, different time, same stuff.
But doesn't this happen like sort of at a subconscious level all the time, where people sort of meet somebody, they learn a lesson in the relationship, and then they end up just parting ways. Naturally, something happens, and they end up, that person's not in their life anymore.
Well,
they learn,
right?
they
Sees
learn,
a friend.
like they learned whatever it was, but they may not. They're aware of the lesson, but maybe not necessarily that they had a contract. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm teaching you guys this stuff. Because if you can understand the spiritual reason, okay, if you can understand that there's a spiritual spin on this stuff, that you have more control than you ever thought you could have. You have more control. Like, think of the possibility. Wait, it gets better.
No,
Because
I
I didn't even
have
tell
to
you
see
the rest
whose
of it
lessons
yet.
I'd like to be done with now.
If you realize you have that kind of control, that just leaves the spaghetti to happen, kind of, right?
No, because
Because you think,
You-
okay, I got it, now
but
let's go.
if you're spiritually aware
Okay.
that you're meant to go here, if you're spiritually aware, what are you going to do? You're going to do the spaghetti thing? Like, are you going to go all over the place? You're going to be like, oh no, I know the path, and I surrender to the path, and I'm going to allow it to be on. It'll save you grief. This is pain, grief, anguish, frustration, guilt, anger, right?
I just love that you use that word
Anxiety.
allow. My guys have said that literally every
Allow.
freaking day to me for like the last 4 months.
Allow.
So Christine, can I, your question about getting rid of a contract? After I did my sacred contracts with Christina, my
Oh, you
issue
did
was
it.
with
Yes.
my mom, and she said you need to meet her because I was allowed to break the contract because my mom broke her part, which allowed me to free myself.
Right.
And she said, well, you need to see her. I know I will never face-to-face see her again. So Christina recommended that I write her a letter and release her from it and see if it worked. And it was like exactly what you said. It was this freeing.
You feel
It was
free.
amazing that allowed me to break that contract because she has free will, but she chose this
Yes.
and wasn't the positive, right? She was the shadow, which allowed me to break the contract. And I wrote her a letter and pretty much said, you know, I respect all that you and Dad did, and you know, you did the best that you know how, and I thank you for it. Love me, and I sent it to her, and it was such a freeing experience for me.
Did you get goosebumps as she's explaining it? So, see, I want you to realize that you didn't defeat her or put her ego down or blame her, because blame is opposite of surrender. You're blaming the world for your problems when you need to take accountability. You can do that. Like, you got to take accountability. Like, this is your life. You can take control of it. And what she did was she took control of it, but she if you sever a contract with somebody, if you go in and blame them for not accomplishing or not seeing through the contract, it's not releasing you from the contract because you didn't learn. You have to say, thank you. I'll give you an example. My husband left a toxic job for a fantastic job that had so much more for him. I said, you should send a thank you card to the people who made your life miserable and made you leave. And he's like, why? And I said, they did you a favor. Look what they did. They made you leave. They made your life miserable. But look at your life. So it's about being grateful. You said to her, thank you. I know you did the best that you could, right? I thank you for teaching me everything, and I release you. That's how.
And I know she got the letter and was like,
what? Yeah.
what the? But I felt it's okay, because I can't
Yeah.
worry about how she feels.
No, because it's she didn't hold up her side, My father did not hold up his side of the bargain, his side of the contract. So he really disintegrated his end, and he didn't learn what he was supposed to learn from our connection. But I got it, and it took me years to get to that. It took me 15 years till I could do it. It took me a long time. It was tough. So some of the contracts that you have are really, really hard contracts. So you have a contract with your guides. You have a contract with each of your guide. Your guide, you face your guide and you say, this is what I need you for. Are you up for the task? And they're like, yeah, bring it, baby. I'm yours, right? So your guide and your guide could be your best friend from another lifetime. It could be your mother from another lifetime. It could be someone who loves you unconditionally. Okay? It's someone who will go to bat for you. Someone who will be there for you. Someone who will cry for you. Sometimes your guides will petition for you. If you're going through a really hard time and you're going, God, help me. God, help me. Your guides, I've seen guides crying to the higher ups, go to petition and say, please help Florence, please help her. She needs your help. Please, can you change something in here, please, to help her right now? And they can organize. That's what a miracle is. A miracle is, yes, a miracle is when the divine steps in because you asked, please help me, and you get a miracle. Something changes. The phone call goes through. The check comes in the mail. The person, the miracles happen because you ask and your guides petition. They stand up for you. Isn't that awesome? They're your football team. That's awesome.
I'm blown. Okay.
Right? So you got quarterbacks and you got right? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm not a football player. I don't know the football. But see, each one does something different. Each one has a job. Okay? So now you get 25 to 32. Okay? If you move really fast, instead of doing this thing, you go boom, boom. That's funny. Boom, boom, boom. You do this, okay? You get 3 of these. 1, 2, 3 taken out. And you get 3 more.
Do you die early then? If you're like, all right, I'm done. What's left?
No.
Oh.
No. You still are going, as long as you're alive, you're still going to learn. You're always going to learn. There's always going to be something else to learn. And sometimes what happens, you get to a point where you take an exam. An exam is when somebody back here, early on, kind of somebody sneaks back into your life again. That was somebody that made you like that. Right? And they go, did you learn it? Did you learn it? Because we're going to give you an exam. Right? So then you go, so you have a choice. So you go, I remember that person, and you grab onto them, and then you didn't learn, so you got more to learn, right? Or you go, whoa, I know that triggers that. I did that already. Oh, no. No, thank you. Right? So you'll get them. You'll get them. You'll get tests. And when you have those 3 new guides, so how do I know you get new guides?
Because you've got new guys.
Because I got new guides. Okay? I had a very vivid dream, and I was bawling, saying goodbye to my 3 guides that I had all my lifetime. I woke up hysterically crying, saying goodbye. Okay? A couple months later, I had a meditation and 3 new guides stepped in. I
Were they-
saw it vivid.
Were they like on standby? Were you?
No. So what happens is,
They were on the team.
yeah, they're on the team. They were
on the
not.
bench.
They were not. They're not on the team. So what happens is, the higher ups go, "Whoa, she's progressing." Okay. You meditate. You come tonight. You come to this class. I want to know how the other side works. Okay. You're jumping, man. You're jumping. Every little thing that you're learning, you read a book about the other side or your angels or whatever. You take a class on how to do hands-on healing, whatever. You're going to get help. They're going to say, wow, she needs gasoline. We got to push her. We got to fuel her because she's growing and she's realizing that she's a spiritual entity and not just a physical person living, breathing, being on the earth, doing whatever the hell you want to do kind of thing.
So are these like more hardcore guides? Because I feel like the new
Yes.
ones I've gotten are not as fun and they're a lot more
Yeah.
Yeah, they're more like teachers. Okay. You also have a master teacher guide. So you have all these guides, and you have one of the guides before you're born. You have a teacher, a master teacher, and what happens is some people go their entire lifetime and never ever tap into their master teacher. Ever. Can you think of somebody that has no spirituality whatsoever in your life? Totally closed. There's nothing out there. This is just it, and then you die in your worm feast or whatever. Right? Right? Okay. They never can get to their teacher. You, as you progress, you get your teacher, and then you get more guides. Okay? So cool. It is cool. So it's like a machine, you guys. This whole thing is like a well-oiled machine. There's some stuff that they do that I can't even fathom, like I told you.
But like, how do you pick the new guides? Like,
You-
do they get picked for you?
They
or,
get
like-
picked for you. They get picked for you. Why? Because as you continue, these destiny points don't have to be spiritual. They could be interactions with people. They could be a career that you choose. They don't have to be spiritual. But as you progress in your life, if you become more spiritual, if you really embrace and really learn, you need help to fuel you. The 3 guides that were with me since birth were like just everyday Joe Schmo kind of guides, helping me with like picking my milk and checking the date on my milk at the grocery store. You know, like everyday stuff.
You need a guide for that?
You have a guide that does everything. You have a runner guide.
What's that?
A runner guide. So say you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the movies, but I want to make sure that I get a front parking space because I can't walk that far, right? So you're thinking, I gotta get a better parking space to get there so I don't have to walk. And you're saying that, and your runner goes, okay, I'm on it. So they go, okay, and they organize it. Do you ever pull up and you're like, oh my God, it's right in front of me. How cool is that? Right? Or you hear, I gotta leave right now. I gotta leave right now. And people are like, why? Why do you have to leave? And I don't know. I just gotta go. And it's because your runner guide says you're gonna miss it if you don't get it. Because if you go, oh, it's nothing. I'm not gonna listen to it. Then it's this. And it's crazy, right? So you have a runner guide. And then you have a saboteur. Saboteur is a guide is like a bodyguard. Saboteur is a bodyguard, so it's constantly checking on you, protecting you. Okay, and it could be an angel. That's your saboteur. So there's so many different guides that you have, but again, it depends on you.
Is Saboteur around a lot? Like, can you see him if you meditate, or can you just see him pop?
So you could do meditation and say, I want to see my saboteur. Now, there's a negative to the saboteur because you could use your guides in a negative way. Saboteur is, I'm not going to talk to my bodyguard. I'm not going to listen to him or her. So you can sabotage yourself, and by not listening to your bodyguard. Does that make sense? I can't do that. I can't meditate. I can't listen. I'm not protected. I have to protect myself.
But you said that was ego.
Ego.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. I don't know now.
So you have. Is that like my little person? Okay.
Oh, how nice.
I know. So you. So you have your spirit.
Okay.
You have your ego.
Okay.
Okay, and then you have your subconscious. Your subconscious is like your C drive in your computer. So all the things that you do, all the lessons that you learn. I can't say this to this person because every time I say this to this person, this is what happens, right? So your subconscious stores all that stuff, okay? Your ego says, I'm afraid, I can't do this, I can't talk to my guides, I'm worthless, I can't do my things, I don't have guides, nobody's protecting me. Your ego wants control. Your ego, if somebody's like doesn't believe in anything that's helping them, doesn't believe in it, your ego says, it's all me, man, it's all me, right? Your ego wants control. So, and your ego is like a nut that's like tiny.
Like a little chihuahua.
It's like a little barking chihuahua, tiny, right? So you can control the ego, and that's where the ego wants to sabotage your guides. So when your guides tell you to do something and you go, no, that's not right, or I don't want to do that. It's too hard. I'm not doing it. And your guides are like, you got to do it now, right? And you're like, no, I don't want to do it. It's too hard. And your guides are like, but you have to. If you do this, then you'll make it to the next thing. We need you to get here, right? But they don't hit you or club you over the head. They're not hurtful in any way. They're like, you have to do this. And they whisper, right? Your ear goes crazy.
Your cheerleaders.
They're your cheerleaders. Yep. That's perfect. They are your cheerleaders. They love you. Your guides love you. And plus, you have a healing guide. A healer. Everybody has a healer guide. So, like, when you're going to bed and you're crying and this is really hard or whatever, you know, your healer guide comes in and she cries with you. And she holds you and hugs you. And if you go into meditation and you can't stick with the meditation and you go off somewhere, right? It gets like dark and then you don't see anything, you don't feel the meditation, and then all of a sudden it's time to come out of the meditation and you're awake, right? And you go, what the heck just happened? Your healer guide just cocooned you and held you.
She's around me a lot.
And they go, oh, you poor little baby. They love you. So your guides devoted their afterlife to you. How cool is that?
Is
They
that
do
what
it.
happened last time in my meditation? Was that my healer guide?
Yeah,
The
probably your
guide?
healer guide or your angels. Your angels will say, we're not going to show her anything. She needs to heal. Like, her heart is broken. She needs help. So we're going to go in and put Scotch tape, right? And we're going to cocoon you. You know when you swaddle a baby and you wrap them up in a blanket, that's what they do to you. They swaddle you. Isn't that cool? And you feel, and then you come back from meditation, you come back and you're like, oh, I feel better. I feel better. I didn't see anything, but I feel better. Weirdly, right? And that's because they were healing. Okay. So you got the plan, you got the contracts, you got your guys. You're coming in, right? So you are not a baby on the other side. You're like a 25-year-old person on the other side. Okay? You're a grown person. Did you ever meet a little kid that talks to you like your grandparent talked to you? Did you ever meet a little kid like just there was a video on Facebook. I was laughing my butt off, and the guy was talking to his kid, and he was like, I don't know, he didn't talk yet, and he was going, right? I was laughing because the kid is 20. He's 25 years old in that little tiny body.
Oh.
He just can't talk. He can't talk to you, right? So whenever you see a baby, say, welcome back. You know, just look at them in their eyes, say, yeah, you're back in again. Good luck to you, right? Right? Good luck. We're going to be fine, right? So when you come back into life, so what you do is you're grown and you got to prep to come back in. And when you come back into life, I hear other people say that they have to give you amnesia, but I never experienced how they do that. All I know is that when you're ready to come back and all this stuff is ready to go, you actually pick your situation. So you pick your parents. Now you don't pick your parents for all the stuff that they do to you, okay, after the fact. So you pick your life and the contracts and what you're supposed to do to come in. And each person, a sibling, a parent, a grandparent, whatever, in your situation, are there to fulfill a contract with you, and you're there to fulfill a contract with them. Do you ever hear of like a kid teaches a parent more than a parent? Yeah, because that's true.
Is that the situation, like, so I'm thinking, like, if you have somebody who's, like, addicted to drugs, and they've been addicted to drugs for years and years, and they get pregnant, and they have a baby, and then the baby doesn't, for whatever reason, get taken away, like, is that why, like, is it like a reverse contract, like that child's actually...
So get this will blow your mind. So I did a reading on somebody years ago. And I said, you're going to get a baby, and you're going to get one. You're not going to be birthing it. You're going to get one from a mom, okay? And here it was a drug addict, okay? So she has this kid, and she fights for this kid and adopts the kid. And the mom finally signs the kid over after like a year. I was coaching with this woman, giving her readings, and I said, she's going to sign it over. She's going to sign the baby over, so it's going to be okay. And then I said, another one's coming. You're going to get a daughter from the same mom, right? And she goes, really? And I said, yeah. And she's going to sign her over to you, and you're going to get the 2 kids that you're meant to get. So they weren't supposed to stay with the mom. They came into that woman so that they could go to this person I was reading. Does that make sense?
But sometimes they stay. So, like...
With the mom, the original mom?
And like... And I guess it's sort of like... Wouldn't they know on the other side that she's already doing that? So, like, they... Like, you know what you're coming into at that point. So, I guess I'm wondering, like, is that sometimes part of the contract?
So, how they explained it to me, okay, so... There were things that go back to my dad because it's so easy to explain. So I didn't chart the abuse. I charted he had spiritual gifts that he was supposed to share with me, and there were things that he was meant to teach me, but he went chaotic, and that wasn't my plan. So that's why sometimes we have stillbirths, That's why we have crib deaths, because the children come in
And they go,
and
"Yeah,
they
screw
go,
this." I'm outta
oh my God, I'm out of here. Yeah, because you come in and you don't see the free will of the parents and the situation. You don't see that. You just say, this person is meant to teach me this person's meant, but all this stuff has happened in their lives before you are born, before you come here. So when you get here, the shit hits the fan. So, all these years I was told by teachers and mentors, you pick your parents, you pick your abuse, you pick it, you go through it because you're supposed to. And when I talked to the guides, they told me that they didn't, if they would have known all that stuff would have happened to me, we would have reorganized another contract. But it was too late. I was in, and this is what happened. And it wasn't that way right from the start. I was loved and cared for in the beginning, and then it started to change. It got skewed. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I guess it's just, that's not always how it happens. I mean, sometimes it's already screwy. And
Sometimes it's
kids will be
already-
born into the chaos. So I guess I'm just wondering, like, in those situations.
If that's what they're charted,
Is it-
yeah, they're supposed to learn something from that. Isn't that, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So,
So basically, what you're saying, when the news media, or I'm always reading something online.
yeah.
So when I see these kind of nuttiness or people doing crazy, stupid things to kids, and the kids passed on, that's a contract?
No, their free will, okay, their free will created the mess. The kid didn't contract the parent for that. By the time the parent came into life, right? So the parent and the child don't come together. So the parent comes into life and lives their life. Maybe they're abused. Maybe they go through stuff. The baby's still waiting until it's time for them to come into that person. Do you understand?
Okay.
So then when it's time for the baby to come in, all this stuff happened to that person. And that person chose to rob a bank, chose to beat up his wife, chose to get incarcerated and go to jail. They chose all that stuff before that contract was agreed upon, because their free will went crazy. It's free will. They chose it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So when you come here, you're like, oh my God, I didn't chart my mother being in jail and me being born in jail. Like, I didn't chart that. That was her free will. That's not her destiny. Her destiny isn't to go to jail.
So that's
That
not
wasn't
a
what she's
contract.
supposed to do. She had a contract to succeed, to get over her problems, to be victorious.
So,
You come here, you're like, yeah, I can do that. Do you ever go to a vacation and you're like, everything's going to go great. I'm going to go there and everything's going to go fantastic, right? And then you rent a car and it runs out of gas, right? It's the same thing.
Which is a hotel, and it's not what we
So it is a contract. Like there is a contract.
There is a contract.
But it's how you, like that free, here's me and my mom, right?
Yeah.
I came into this world, I chose my parents.
Right.
Okay? What I expected, how I expected my parents to be,
Yeah.
was not how they chose to be because of their free will that diverted
Yeah.
from that,
Exactly.
which they broke their contract,
Yes.
how they were supposed to be.
Yeah, they
because
didn't
of
listen
free
to the
will.
guides.
So
Yeah.
that allowed me then to say,
Yeah. You
wow,
really.
does that make sense?
You
It makes a
really
lot of
think
sense.
it's not charted for somebody to abuse a child?
Right.
That's not charted. It's charted for somebody to empower a kid, to help them, to support them, to love them, to push them, nurture them,
So in those,
not to hurt them. So I was supposed to learn something from my father. My great grandmom told me. She came to me and she says, he was supposed to teach you. And he didn't. He didn't teach you what I taught him.
So what do the guides do, like, when that happens? Like, do they have to then, like,
oh my god, they gotta
provide
like,
reinforcements?
Band-Aids come
Like,
out. Yeah, they gotta
like-
fix everything. So that's why I'm telling you that they have to reorganize. It's kind of like it's this machine and the cog is broken. Oh my god, we gotta fix it because that cog connects to this person and this karmic thing and that thing, and we need to fix it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then you gotta throw karma on there. That even amplifies it even more out of control.
I don't know why I want to say this, but I do, because I just feel it. Like when you look at the world today, and you see all the crap that's going on, right? The killings, the murders, the this, the that, and then you see the tornadoes and the hurricane, and why is it happening? And why would God, source, whatever, allow it to happen?
That used to be my question.
Right?
Yeah.
People ask for free will. And so God said, and correct me if I'm wrong, God said, here you go. You
Yeah.
want free will? I'm giving it to you.
Yeah.
And look how people chose to live. We chose the spiritual life,
Right.
understanding it's about service to others. Other people, their
Free will.
ego
Yeah, free
got
will.
in the way, and free will said, you know what? Now I can shoot, I can rob, I can.
And do whatever I want.
That's the ego.
That's the ego. The ego goes against the guides.
That's why I was so
But
say.
Yeah.
a part of me wants to say there needs to be balance. So for all the good, there has to be bad.
Yes. So we come to
So-
a light. We come to the earth, and the earth has polarity. Okay, it has
Right.
positive and
And
negative. Okay, so you can choose the negative because of free will. You can.
Correct.
You have a choice. We came to a planet that has polarity. On the other side, it's all good. There's no negative.
That's good to know. But my what I'm not doing a very good job of explaining is yes, there's tornadoes, and yes, there's murders, and yes, there's all these other things. But there's the opposite side. Like there's so much good going on.
Yes,
too.
but there's good in everybody.
There is.
Everybody's
but
good.
It seems to be amplified.
Yeah.
The bad seems to be amplified, and the good seems to be amplified. And I wonder if it's because of the balance. It
Yes.
has to be a balance.
I love that you said that. So as we progress as a society, okay, so as we connect more and more to the guides, we become more spiritual. What happens is the vibration of the planet increases. But when we become more positive, more aware, more awakened as a society, evil has to intensify too because it needs positive and negative. But when you cross over and go home, there is no negative.
But I have. This is really driving me a little bit bonkers, just a little bit. If there's so much, let's say, craziness here, evil and positive, and they don't have none, we have to learn it from somewhere. Like, where did that come from?
From your past lives.
No, but like,
It had to have started somewhere. That's what you're
yeah,
saying.
like if they don't have the negative,
The
if
choice.
they don't have.
The
But how
choice.
did we know, or how did, let's say, the cavemen knew? Oh, you know what? Let's do a little evil, or let's do a little bad. But
Because
they
the
didn't
earth,
create us with that.
the earth was created in duality. It was created with polarity. It was created in that way so that we could come here and learn.
If you can have a thought from your guide, right, your ego and your grace, as it were,
Yeah.
are always fighting each other.
Yes.
Mhm.
Your ego, you could call it the devil, you can call it whatever you want. It's the negative.
I don't
Right.
believe in the devil anymore.
Okay, but it's still the negative.
It's a negative.
It's you beating up on yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm this, I'm that. And then the angel on this side saying, you can do this. Go, go, go. Well, that angel is your God.
Yes.
That negative is your ego.
Right.
So that's your free will, right? Which is your ego.
So what do you
Okay.
choose? Do you
right?
choose?
So you always have that choice.
You choose
In
your
every moment,
spirit?
You have that choice.
Yeah, you choose spirit or do you choose ego? And that's free will. Your ego is always going to make you go like this. Blah, blah, blah. Your ego is going to always screw with you. Why? Because the ego wants control. The ego doesn't want to step away and let you listen to your guides. It's going to fight you tooth and nail. And where do you learn your ego? When you're a kid. You're not connected. You're not talking to anybody. It's in your subconscious. You're not talking to anybody on the other side. Get a hold of yourself. You can't see when grandmom's going to die. Shut up and go play with your crayons. Okay? That's where you learn that. And then when you connect to your guides and God, you have to say, ego, you got to sit down and you got to behave. Because I'm not going to listen to you anymore because you make me go crazy. You make me go nuts. And Spirit is the one that's going to make me victorious. Spirit is the voice that says, yeah, you can do it. You can stand up. You can win. You can succeed. You can be happy. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it's a choice. That's free will. It's between ego and your spirit.
I always see the ego as selfish. So anytime you need to make a choice and it's selfish, that's your ego.
Yeah, basically.
Kind
But it can be empowerment too. So if it's
That's
to
true.
help you, if you're the type of person that you never stand up for yourself and you finally hear, stand up for yourself, it's not egotistical, it's your guide saying, we're proud of you, you're beautiful, you need to stand up for yourself. So, so that's the fight. That's the nightmare of being on the earth. So when you're a baby, okay, so you're a grown adult, and what happens is some of us, when we pass and we don't want to be a guide, say when you die, you don't want to be a guide, you can work on the other side. Some of us actually work in the sciences. Some of us work with past lives. Some of us work with coaching new souls to come in. I was doing a reading one time and they said, what are they doing on the other side? And this person devoted their afterlife to coaching the people how to come back into life and what to do when they get here. That was cool. I'm like, whoa. So
I have a
you can have a
question.
job. Yeah,
Go ahead, finish.
you can have a job. Yeah.
The person that commits suicide,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, when they come back as a baby,
Uh-huh.
I have two questions. Are they all cleared? Like, is their soul cleared? So if you were doing a reading, can you feel that that person came back? Like, if you see a baby, welcome
Yeah.
to the world,
If
can
you say,
feel...
you committed suicide in another lifetime, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, sometimes kids will come in with afflictions. So, this is crazy. So, say you were Hitler's best sergeant and you killed a bunch of people. Okay? In this lifetime, you come back as a baby that has MS. Well, it's a choice because you got, my ego was out of control and I knew, they said like Hitler they tried to kill him like how many times? Like 20 times or something, and he kept getting out of it. But
I think he had decoys and stuff like that.
But-
He was a smart.
But who was trying to
Yeah.
kill him? It was his people, because they knew, so they're here in spirit saying this isn't right. So what I'm saying is that someone could feel like they needed to give back or they needed to give up their ambition in this lifetime so that they could serve. So maybe the parents had some kind of karma that they had to fulfill. So they chose an affliction to come into this life with, so that these parents maybe needed to learn patience, or maybe needed to learn what was important, what's important in life. Does that make sense? And it's amazing. It's like, so don't think that when you see a child that's hurt or, has an affliction or something, don't feel sorry for them. Realize that there's a charted thing here. This is a contract that they decided to come into life with. Now, when you're talking about healthy kids, so when you have somebody on the other side that is coming back into baby form. If you hear about miscarriage, like why does miscarriage happen? I want you to realize one thing, and I want you to share this with as many people as you can that has had miscarriages, because a lot of times they blame themselves, and it has nothing to do with the mom. It has to do with the fetus. So the fetus is a thing. It's not, the spirit doesn't go into the fetus until the 3rd trimester, till the 7th, 8th, 9th month. It's called the quickening. Okay, it's called the quickening. And you know the time when you're like on your hands and knees scrubbing the floor, like with the toothbrush, and you're going crazy, right, painting everything. Well, that's the quickening. You have 2 souls in one body, and you're like on fire, right? So that means that the soul is in. The soul of the baby, the fetus, is in. But when you have a miscarriage, like, why would you go to the train station to go on a trip and then turn around, get in the car, and go back home? Like, why would you do that? Like, it's ridiculous. The soul is going to be watching the fetus function and develop, right? The soul's going to be watching it. So it's like you're watching your house being built, okay? And you're going to say, wait a minute, the plumbing's all wrong, okay? It's not, they didn't pour that concrete right. It's not good, right? So what they do is they say, I'm going to wait for the next one. And how simple it is. I had 3 miscarriages before I had my daughter. And we tried for 5 years to have a kid. And I was devastated on the last miscarriage. And I said, oh my God, God help me. Like, is this really going to happen? And she came to me in a dream. And she showed me herself. Now, a lot of times children will come to you in your dreams, especially if you're frustrated or upset and you don't know if they're coming or not. They'll come to you in a dream. And she eased my mind. And I knew she was coming. Right? And she did, and she was exactly how she looked in the dream, exactly to a T. So, and it was a girl, right? So I want you to realize that the soul, if the physical form isn't what is contracted, I need to do this, I need to do this and this, and if I don't have a whole body, if I have an affliction or an issue, I won't be able to get to there. So this is another thing is I had a person that came to me that her child had CF, where they hit them on the back, right? Cystic fibrosis. And I said to the mom, she's going to heal. And the mom goes, that's not possible. And I'm like, I see it. She's going to heal herself. It was her way. She was like, okay, I got like 3 apples and an orange, okay? I got to pick the orange, so I'm going to go with the orange. I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to overcome it. She is over it. She is over it. She's grown, beautiful young girl, and she's over it. The kids that are coming in now are unbelievable. So they can heal themselves. It's crazy.
But isn't that a lot because the universe is more open to, like, there's more of us out there now.
Yeah, because
so we need more of them coming in.
Exactly.
Because of
We
polarity.
need help. Yeah, we need help. But realize that the more spiritual we become, the more chaos is going to ensue. So it's going to be, you have to be, do you want a white hat or a black hat? You're going to have to make a choice.
I am like so ecstatic and so thankful that you have said that, like with the kids coming in.
Yeah.
Because with my son, it's like I have 4 of them, and they all come in and tell me what they want their name to be. And when I tell my friends that, they're like, you're crazy. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And then they're like, the names are weird. Try again because she didn't do a good job. I'm like, no. And it's weird because even with my last son, I was like, I need a name. Every name I picked, they're like, no. Then I'm like, then you choose it. And then he told me exactly what the name is. When I spelled it, he was like, nope, that's not it. I had to change the name. I had to do the birth certificate like three times to change the name because that's not the name
because
we
it
wanted.
wasn't
Yeah,
spelled
and
right.
I'm like, that's what they're telling
Yeah.
me, and
Yeah.
people think I'm weird. I'm like, no,
No,
that's-
you're
I
not
got my daughter's
weird.
name. I knew how much she was going to weigh, and I knew she was going to be born a week early. And we even joked that it would be Valentine's Day, and she was born on
Valentine's Day.
So
Yeah.
it is a thing.
It's a thing.
I got weird
Yeah.
friends. They're the ones that's weird.
Yep. Yeah. And when I was so frustrated and why my daughter wasn't coming, why she wasn't coming, I saw her in the vision or whatever. And they're like, you need to chill. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Her path had to be born on a certain day. Her contract was set. And it was her doing when she wanted to be born. It had nothing to do with me. I was just the vessel. So the next time your mom gets on your nerves, just say you were the vessel. Okay?
My vessel.
My
So
dad's
you're the
way
vessel.
about my mom.
You were the vessel for me to be here. That's it. That's all. Right? So think
My
about
guide
it.
said that about my mom.
Yeah.
She was the vessel to get you here.
The vessel to be here. Right?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's the message I got a few weeks ago. Because I was asking questions. They're like, that's because you needed these kids. That was the only reason.
Yes.
You know, the contract. Like, I'm like, oh my God, it was only a contract. And they're the reason.
Yeah.
And now I'm free.
A lot of times when I see them, they don't have. There's not a lot of contracts with the male. So you know, a lot of people are like, well, you know, I want to have a child with this man, you know, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, a lot of times, they're not connected to the man, they're connected to the woman.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You mean the one
The
coming in?
male, yeah, the spirit that's coming in.
Oh, they're
It's
connected to the
really rare when I see there's a contract with the husband, with the father. It's very rare. It's usually the mom. Not crazy? I asked my husband one time, I said, would you have kids if you didn't meet me? And he goes, no.
See, that's funny because I don't think I had a contract with my mom, but I had one with my dad. I'm pretty
And you had one with your dad. It's more rare.
sure.
It's more rare to have one with your father. It's very rare. It doesn't happen a lot. It's mostly the mom. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so you come in, you're born, blah, blah, blah. Okay, everything's honky-dory, and you're here. When you die, okay, so you live your life, you go through all that. Any questions on, does that make sense? Are you guys getting validation, like goosebumps? And
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Being cold.
I love it. Are you cold? I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, that's your blankets.
So those validations are your spirit guides. Okay, your spirit guides are right with you. They're around you. The room is full of them. They're all around you. Not all of them are here. You've got a handful that are in the room with you. But if you're in this class, I guarantee you, your teacher's like right next to you.
Front and center.
Yeah, because your teacher wants you to learn this stuff.
But is the teacher the big ones or the regular side ones?
So your guides are your height. Okay, your guides are your height, and they're people that lived just like you did other lifetimes, and they devoted their afterlife to you. Your teacher is usually your leader guide that is the same height as you. Okay, but then you have your guides, and then you have your teacher. You have your angels, your personal angels. So your personal angels are the ones that, move the car out of the way. Make sure the piano doesn't drop on your head, like stuff like that. Okay, your personal angels, they're about the same height as you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you have 3 or 4. You have 3 or 4. They're short. You have 3 or 4 personal angels, and then you have the kids that are being born, the crystal children that have been born for the past 20 years. The crystal kids have 6. They have 6 angels. They put extra oomph for the crystal kids. So these are your angels. Okay? These are your guides. And then you have loved ones on the other side. Okay, so your loved ones. They're your same height. Then you have masters. These masters, yeah, I know. There's one I know that's shorter than everybody, but he's a master. Most of the masters are very tall. The higher masters are like Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Christ, Buddha, Moses. Those are your masters. They are gigantic. And usually when you get your new guide, sometimes you'll get masters in. So there's a hierarchy. Oh, and then with them is the archangels. Did I say archangels? Archangels. Archangels are 7 feet tall. They're huge. 7 or 8 feet tall. They're gigantic. Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael. When they come in, so you have regular angels that keep you from harm, but when you can call on an archangel and they'll come in and you'll feel them. They're really big. Really big. Okay? As if you progress on your spirituality, if you progress on your chart and you become more spiritual, you can tap into the archangels more readily. Like they'll come much more to help you.
Have I progressed?
Yeah, you have work. I told you had Michael working with you, big time.
Yeah, I seen him on top of my house.
Yeah, Michael.
It's huge
Wings, giant.
Yes, and one day I was driving going home and I saw 3 big ones like on top on the sky somewhere, just 3 of them, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I talked to them but they didn't say anything back, but I progressed.
Yeah. Yeah, you're working with the archangels. Yeah. And you can ask them to work with you. You can learn more about them, learning more about the angels. That angel book that I have, Archangels and Ascended Masters, that's a really good book I have on the table. I would get that.
Okay, wait.
Because
Sorry.
each archangel does a different job. Yeah, so Michael, each one, and that book is really good because then you know, okay, which archangel does that, and then you can look it up and yeah.
I googled them.
When I was praying for my daughter to be born, somebody came to me off the cuff, a friend of mine handed me a card, didn't know what was happening in my life, and said, I got really pulled to give you this card. It was Saint Gerard. Saint Gerard was all about having babies. Being fertile. So, and I'm like, how did you know to get, I don't know. So people will be sent to you. Your guides will choreograph people to call you, to give you inspiration on the earth, to give you those little miracles, those synchronicities. That's your guides. Your guides are doing that.
To keep the faith.
Yeah, your guides are doing that. It's amazing. Guides, angels, loved ones on the other side. Loved ones on the other side are restricted, okay, from telling you what to do with your life. So if you ever go to a medium and they're saying, your grandma is telling you to dump that guy, right? They're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed. And I learned that from the guides. I said, are they allowed to tell us what to do? And they said, no, they're not, because they're biased. If you're supposed to be with somebody to have a kid, because you're contracted to have that kid with that person, if you leave, they got to reorganize everything. Does that make sense? Okay? And your grandma doesn't know all that. Your grandma on the other side just wants you, hey girl, you need to do this. Like, you need to do that. And they don't know they don't know all that.
Will
They're
they
not
still
allowed
say
to tell
that
you.
stuff, or they don't say that stuff?
So when I talk to them, they are on their best behavior.
Is that like a boundary thing? Like,
You know what's weird is that when I talk to them, they are behaving, and I think it's the guides are making them behave. But if you go to certain readers, I found this, where people would come to me and say, I went to this reader and she told me that my grandma said this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, she's not allowed to do that. So maybe the guides weren't overseeing the session. I don't know. But they're not allowed to do that.
The media was really not a true media.
Well, yeah, could be that
You
too.
know?
Could be that too. So I don't know what other people do. I just know what happens when I do it. And I asked them multiple times, are they allowed to tell us what to do? And they said no. Not allowed. They're biased. When we die. So when we die,
When our
Okay.
bodies die.
huh?
When our bodies
When our
die.
bodies die. We don't die. They always correct me. Yeah, I know. They're telling me all the time, we don't die, we don't die, we don't die. I know we don't die. So when our bodies die, what happens is I have never, ever, ever gotten a date when somebody was going to die. Ever. I would get a vision or a feeling that it was coming, but I never got this is going to happen on this day at this hour. And I question that. Why? Why don't I get that? And they say, because it's personal. It's like, when you go to the bathroom, you close the door. It's personal,
I
right?
still follow you in there. I'm still in there.
It's a personal.
That's your
It's a-
bathroom guide. Connie guide.
That's funny. So it's a personal thing. It's a very personal thing between a person and God, okay? And there are certain things that have to happen. There has to be a release of the need to be here. There has to be a surrender of the soul, per se, of the person who is passing, crossing over. So there has to be things in alignment for this person to go. And the will, your free will, has a lot to do with it. Okay? I had somebody that was ready to cross, her blood pressure lowered, her heart rate went down. The daughter was saying, it's okay to go, Mom, it's okay to go. And she was ready to cross, and the husband walks in the room and says, you're not going anywhere. You're staying right here with me because I need you to be my wife and I need you to take care of me. Yeah. Heart rate goes up,
Awesome.
blood pressure goes back
Very
up.
selfish.
She stayed another 4 months in pain, agony. Yes, because of that.
But she chose to stay.
She chose to stay because she heard him and he was adamant, you're not leaving. So why do people always say it's okay for you to go? It's okay for you to go. Because to give that will, her will said, I need to stay longer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And she was on the phone to me and told me this whole thing. So I'm on the phone. She's asking me what to say. She's saying it. He walks in and screams it. It was horrific. I'll never forget it. So it shows you, people say, oh, I gotta wait until my son gets here. It's willpower. So it has nothing to do with anybody but that person and God. So when we cross, right? So we leave. What happens is, So we're on the earth, okay? There are dimensions. There are dimensions. So we're on the third dimension. Okay? We're on the third dimension. Third dimension is we have physical form, second dimension is me writing on this tablet, right? It's flat, it's 2-dimensional. We are alive, we're in the third dimension. When we pass, now dimensions are on top of each other. So your loved ones are not on another planet. The loved ones that passed, they're not above you, they're right here. Okay? So if your guides are right here, your angels are right here, your archangels are right here but up here, right? So when we pass, your loved ones on the other side are right here. They're right here. So when you call them or think about them, they go, yes? What? What do you want? You smell their perfume.
Oh, that's spooky.
You smell their smoke if they were smokers. I don't know why they smoke on the other side, so don't ask me. I have no idea. I guess because they won't get sick. I don't know. But it's something it reminds us that that's what they did when they were here. It is a connection. You'll feel them. You'll have a vision of you're in a group of people, you're in a crowd, right? And you swear that it's your mother-in-law that passed. You swear the mannerisms are the same, she's walking the same, she has the same build. Oh my God, it's her. And you blink and they turn around and it's not them, right? So they can overshadow people. Isn't that cool?
So you're saying it really was them?
It was them.
To you.
To you.
Right.
Yeah. Do you ever oh my God, doesn't that look like? And then by the time you turn back,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's for you. It's not for the person that you went to tell. It's for you.
But
Isn't that cool?
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because they come to you to show you that they're there. They come to you to show you that they're around, that they're at peace, that you don't have to worry, that you don't have to think that they left you or they abandoned you. They're right there. Okay? So, loved ones on the other side, okay, so when we pass, loved ones on the other side are in the 5th dimension. Okay? So this is where your guides are, this is where loved ones are, this is where the angels are, 5th dimension. Okay? There are more, but we're not going to talk about that because then your brain will hurt. So, so we're just going to talk about 3rd, 4th, 5th. Okay? This is the 4th dimension. So, loved ones on the other side are here. For them, they're not going to have a full out apparition of themselves and show themselves in front of you like real. You will freak out and pass out and they'll have to call the hospital. And do you understand? They can't do that. Did you have somebody full out apparition?
Upset about of my mom
Mm-hmm.
from year to year,
Yeah, but
and then my dad.
but
Too.
you didn't touch her like
Oh,
physical touch.
no, they were like in the distance, like where she is. I could see them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. You'll do that, and it'll be in your mind. Like you'll see it in your mind. Okay, but for them to be a person,
Right, I see what you're saying. Like that.
real in the 3rd dimension, okay, a real person in front of you and hug you, you will go in a straitjacket and have to go somewhere, okay? You won't be able to handle it. Your mind is so finite, you cannot fathom them being alive, full figured, in flesh, in front of you. You will freak out. So they, on the 5th dimension, they want to empower you and love you. They don't want to freak you out.
But they can't do that though, right? They could just pop up like, oh, hello, how are you? They could do that.
It's hard for them. It's really hard.
But
it's
they
like,
could be transparent in front of you, right?
yeah,
I've seen
they
that.
can be transparent. Yes. You got goosebumps? They can be, you can see them in spirit form where nobody else can see them. You can only see them, okay? And you can see them as like in your mind or, okay, so they're in your mind, but you can see them standing next to the table, okay? And then someone who has psychic ability can see them standing next to the table as well. Yes, they can see that, right? But I'm saying physical, like that you could touch them like flesh.
Really?
Yeah.
Really gonna take it? That is, wow.
Yeah, you'd freak. Yeah.
Well, I know I would freak.
You're freaking. So they don't want to do that to you. So it's to empower you. It's to show you that they go on. It's to love you. To show you you're not alone. To encourage you that we got your back. We're here for you. Okay. So their loved ones on the other side are like a cheerleader from the other side, but they can't tell you what to do. They can't tell you need to do this or you need to do that because that's your guide's job. And again, they're biased. You know, example. So you have an uncle that went bankrupt and you have problems with money. Would you talk to your uncle about how to deal with money? No. He would tell you. I'm sure he would tell you, right? Go take your money and go gamble it on the next horse, and I'll give you the name, right? But your guides won't allow it because your guides would be like, no, not allowed to do that, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so the fifth dimension is where the other side is, okay? So when you are on the third dimension and you're starting to develop your psychic ability and you're starting to see things and open up your third eye and you're starting to meditate, you're starting to walk the spiritual realm, blah, 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 you're starting to open up. The dimension that is right next to us is the fourth dimension. And that's the dimension we normally tap into because it's closest to us. So when we die, okay, our spirit, first our body, we shed our body, right? So our body, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, whatever, right? So our spirit moves upwards towards the fifth dimension. So in a millisecond, and I'm talking millisecond, you choose to go to the fourth or the fifth. You choose. Okay? You make a conscious choice spiritually. Is that a thing? I don't know. But you make a choice to stay in the fourth and the fifth. If you stay in the fourth, you're a ghost. That's the ghost realm. Okay? Yeah. So, ghost realm, okay? So, you shed your body falls away, and you keep your ego. So, you have your spirit and your ego. If you stay in the fourth realm. Okay? So, ghosts have ego. Okay? So ghosts, when you stay in the fourth, you're closest to the earth. So when you open up psychically, you start to see ghosts. That is the number one thing when people are gifted and they shut down, because the first thing you see is, ew! Right? There's a guy in my room and he's black and he wants to hold me down or whatever. Or he's screaming at me in my ear, or he's whatever. Okay, so the ghost realm. You go to Gettysburg and you see all the soldiers hiding with their guns. You go to Salem and there's all the witches that were burned. Okay, so that's the ghost realm. The ghost realm has ego. The ego has not left the soul at that point. So all the ego, the fear, the negativity, the manipulation, the anger, the frustration. Okay? What makes a person stay in the fourth dimension? Ghost, the movie Ghost, like he had to protect his fiance or his wife. I don't think they were married yet.
Yeah, they were married.
They were married.
They were married. He had to protect his
But
wife.
he didn't know he. Well, no, not Ghost. I'm thinking of.
I'm thinking
Sixth
of
Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Sixth
too.
Sense. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
thinking
yes.
Sixth Sense. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ghost,
I don't
Ghost they
remember.
weren't married, right?
They weren't married, right?
No.
Yeah.
So,
So
but he was murdered.
yeah, he was
Right.
murdered,
Right.
but the murderer was going to come after her. Remember? So he had to protect her.
Okay.
He had to protect her. So when Whoopi Goldberg has the people like bugging her, ghosts bugging her, that's a real thing. Like I've had ghosts bug me like that. So what happens is as you develop, you connect to the fourth realm, and what you're supposed to get training. If you're going to develop your third eye and your psychic ability, you get training and you realize, oh, this is the fourth dimension. I don't want to connect to that because it's all the riffraff. It's a Ouija board.
It's the
Ouija
drama.
board. It's a drama. Ouija boards connect you to the fourth realm. Oh yeah, no, you don't want to do that. Throw away your Ouija boards.
Burn it.
Burn it. Yeah, don't use it. Ouija boards say, hey, is anybody out there?
Well, isn't that what you were saying with going to the penitentiaries and ghost hunting and all that? That's the fourth dimension,
You're
right?
connecting to ghosts. Those EVPers that want to record, those people that go to ghost hunting and they want to find out, they want to record ghosts and stuff. That's what they're doing.
They're nuts.
Right.
You're feeding them.
Yeah.
their energy.
So what you're doing, and the ghosts, they could be angry, they can be spiteful, they can do stuff to you. I've seen it. They are manipulative, nasty. You know, it's not good. So you do not want to connect to that. You respect it, you will learn about it, but you do not connect to it. So there's no such thing as Casper. There's no friendly ghosts.
They might come
Okay?
across that way, but they're not.
Yeah, so no, okay? So what your job is to do is to understand that there's a ghost realm, to understand what you're seeing at, the battlefields and at sound. Okay, I understand what I'm seeing, but I'm not going to allow that to affect me because I want to connect to the fifth dimension. And the fifth dimension is all love. It's love. It is peace, joy, happiness, everything. Wonderful. Fantastical. So what happens is, so you have your ego in the fourth dimension, right? You have your ego in the fourth dimension. When you go into the fifth dimension, this is the veil. You know how people say the veil's getting thinner?
Yeah.
Okay? This is the veil. When you cross, your ego is like a sieve. There's a sieve, like a spaghetti strainer. And the spaghetti strainer holds the ego and disintegrates it when you go into the light. So it dissolves all negativity. And when you cross into the fifth dimension, all you are is goodness.
So as you come in, you pick up an ego? Like
Yes.
as a baby, you just, I'll take that one and keep moving?
So if you go to space, you need a space suit to survive, right?
Yes.
When you come to Earth, you get an ego suit to survive.
Okay.
Okay?
Makes sense.
You need an ego to be on Earth. You can control your ego, or it can control you. It's your choice. Okay?
That makes
There's
sense.
a big choker collar on that side, right? So,
Wait, I have a question, sorry.
uh-huh.
I watch a lot of near-death experience trying to figure all this thing out. Is that what happened? Because some people say they've gone to hell, they've met Satan, and some people claim Jesus said, you gotta worship me, and I'm like, ugh. But these, to me, I feel some of them are quite valid. Like when they're saying that they had the devil or something, like a demon-like, which I've encountered a few of those little suckers. And the way they describe it, I've seen it. So is that hell?
So demons,
Well,
a demon
Mhm.
is really nothing more than a person that has gotten amplified. So if Hitler was a demon, he would be a demon, but he's not. He's actually in the light, believe it or not.
You
But
said what? I'm sorry.
He's in the fifth dimension.
Really? He didn't get reincarnated already?
He's in the fifth dimension. But if a demon, all it is giving energy to a person. A ghost is a person. A demon, if you peel back the layers, is a person. It's a person.
So what were they seeing? Because I see there's a soldier. He claims there's a demon ripped up his arm and he was running. And I don't know if that's part of his imaginary or.
So what do you think he's connecting to? The fourth dimension.
So he got stuck in the fourth dimension and then came back. But he did say Archangel Michael came, ripped him up, and he had a choice to make, yada, 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 and came back.
So what did I just say? You have a choice to make. Remember what I said?
Okay.
I said when you die, you make a choice to stay in the fourth dimension or go in the fifth. Archangel Michael said, no, you are beautiful, and came down, took him, and pulled him out. He was stuck in the fourth dimension.
Gosh dang it. That makes sense. Okay.
The fourth,
Wow.
so when people talk about hell, the fourth dimension is hell. Because it's not really, no one puts you there. You choose it. I don't want to go to God because I spent my life angry at God. God did this to me, punished my life, did these things to me. I'm not going to God. So where do they stay? They stay in the fourth dimension.
Oh.
So you never have to be afraid of anything in the fourth dimension ever again. Because it's a person.
They just make themselves look scary.
They make themselves look scary.
Really
Exactly.
scary. Have you seen one?
Oh, yeah.
Really scary.
So watch Paranorman.
That
Okay?
baby's cute.
It's a cartoon that they made for kids to show a kid that was psychic, that was seeing ghosts. It's a cartoon. You gotta watch
My
it.
daughter loves it.
My kids told me, Mom, you gotta see this. This is right up your alley. And I'm sitting down going, oh my God, this is teaching kids about the ghost realm on cartoon. Paranorman. There's a little boy who could see ghosts. Okay? So it'll probably remind you, oh my God, I did that. Right? So what happens is, at the end of the movie, I'm not going to blow it because I don't want to ruin it, but you'll see what I'm talking about. It's empowered. Everybody gives energy to this ghost and gives all this energy and makes it bigger, 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 bigger because you're paying attention to it. If there's something negative in the world, don't give it your attention. If you don't like a store doing something and it's doing child labor or whatever, then don't buy their stuff. Don't patron it. Don't take your energy and apply it to something you don't like, because all you're going to do is emphasize it. You're only going to make it bigger. Okay? You have a ghost in your house, you don't say, oh, cool, stuff is flying off the wall. I love it. I love it. My gas thing on my stove gets turned on all the time. I smell gas. I love it. Oh, ghost, you can stay here as long as you want. You're my best friend. What the hell are you doing? Okay? You tell that ghost to get out. You tell them to get out. especially if you have kids, because then your kids are going to be susceptible to that. You know, you have to protect your children. You tell it to get out. You tell it to go to God.
What if it's a stubborn one? Because I have one that keeps making, well, I don't fall anymore, but we kept falling off like down the stairs. And
Yep.
we had these people at the house, and they kept, it was funny though, with them falling on me.
But
But they kept,
they didn't get hurt. It's
Uh,
terrible.
it was funny. But they kept falling. So I don't know how to tell them, it's a he. I don't know how to tell them to go.
It's just like if you have a neighbor you don't like, and your neighbor walks in your house, goes in your fridge, makes a sandwich, sits down on your couch, would you have something to say?
Actually, I had a neighbor like that.
That's why this is hard for you.
She was nice and she cooked me food, but she just kept coming. But I love her though. She's my
Tell
best
them to
friend.
get out. You tell the ghost to get out, and you don't put up
It's
with
just
it.
older, but okay.
You don't put up with it. You just tell
Just
them
tell
to
them
get
to
out.
get out.
And
Okay.
firm, because
Open
if you
the door for him.
Yeah.
You have to mean
Yeah.
it.
go, you have to mean it. If you're like, would you please go? They'll just laugh at you.
No, but when I try to talk to him, like a lot of times, because the kids are around, they kept asking me, "Who are you talking to?" Like, what? I'm like it's hard for
Tell
me
them
to
it's
try.
a ghost, because your
I
kids
don't
would
wanna
probably
scare-
see it too. But you don't. But
I
if
don't want to scare them.
But if you make kids afraid of a ghost, okay, if you don't show them how to do it and how to get rid of it, then when you're not around and they have an experience, they're not going to know. To say, I'm telling this guy to get out because he's a ghost. And they're like, oh, it's about time, Mom, because he's been bugging me too.
When
Like,
you
they're
say
probably going to tell you that they see him, because the kids can see ghosts.
yeah.
when you say you're talking to him, what are you like having just a normal conversation? So you're being
So you're saying
So
that
you're
that-
welcoming
No, when
them.
he
Yeah.
annoys me, when I feel him too much, he annoys me. I do have comfort. I'm like, I thought I told you to get out.
yeah,
And
but
he's-
you're inviting him in and you're letting him go. You're inviting him in, so he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's going,
You've
yeah, right.
It's like that
Yeah.
yes/no thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah, but
serious.
but I really mean yes.
Yeah, you're
Right.
not serious.
So you're inviting him in, and
I didn't think I've told him to leave. He did leave. He left, and,
And then he
somehow,
came back.
yeah, he came back.
Yeah.
Because
And then
he's
you
been
say,
walking
I
back.
thought I told you to get out. And I mean it. And if you don't get out, I'm going to send you to God. I'm going to put you in the light. I'm going to engulf you with Archangel Michael, and I'm going to make Michael take you home.
Okay,
And
I
they
think I'm
will
gonna do that
never
tonight.
come back.
I'm gonna do
It's-
that tonight.
So what
Just
happens
alive.
is you cannot, you may not be able to cross them into the light, but you can banish them from your home and who you are and your life. You can banish them.
Okay.
Okay? And how do I know? I did it. I had an uncle that killed himself. He came to my house immediate because he knew I could see him. And he broke, my car wouldn't start, my washing machine broke, my dishwasher broke, and my lights were flickering on and off. And I'm like, oh my God, you're here. And he was angry. And I banished him. I said, if you don't go to God, so it's not like, wow, so what's up? Like, what's going on?
We don't have those
I miss
conversations
you. Haven't seen you in a long time. No. It's like, oh my God, you're a ghost. You're dead. You're a ghost. You're not of the light. If you're not in here, you're not my friend.
Okay.
If you're not in the fifth dimension, you are not connecting to this.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And if you don't get out, I will call someone to come get you. And then they get fearful and they take off.
Okay.
When I clear a house and they know I'm coming, they run. They run because they know I'm at the door with Sage and I'm going to get them out. Do you understand? That's the kind of energy you want.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Because the ghosts are tough customers, man. They're like, they have ego. They want to manipulate you. I got in a screaming match one time with the ghost. Screaming match. I won.
oh, what a surprise!
I won. I won, and I got his mommy. He can't fight his mommy on the other side. I got her to come. I dialed in and said, "Mom, come here, help him cross him over." And he was crying, and she pulled him through. Yeah, always.
It's more-
Always go to the light for help.
Okay.
Okay? Always go to the light. If you can't defeat it, go to the light for help. So do you understand what I'm saying about ego? So the body falls away when you pass. You have your ego. You have a split second to decide, do I stay connected to the earth or do I go to the light? If you go, that's why you tell people it's okay to go to the light. We're all fine here. Everything's going to be okay. Go. You're helping people go to the fifth dimension. Does that make sense? Sometimes they're lost. I had a guy that was a motorcycle rider and he died and he didn't know where the heck he was. He had no idea. He kept showing up at this little kid's house. Kept showing up, the little kid's like, this motorcycle guy keeps showing up with a helmet. So I had to go talk to him. And I'm like, dude, you gotta go to the light. Do you see the light? So I'm gonna do a class on how to get rid of ghosts.
Oh, that would be
So that's
awesome.
my next one. I was just looking at dates like yesterday.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I was about to say, there's a circle there.
What?
What about the class with the ghost thing? How to get rid of them? Because that's something I was like, okay, he's not getting the picture. I need to talk to him. Garcia.
Yeah, I need to be firm. You are alive. So you have one up. You have a physical form. You're on the earth. You can talk to the angels. You have one up on a ghost. A ghost is, even though they may seem powerful, it's like a hot air balloon, man. You could pop it. There's no substance because they have no rights here. They just have ego. Does that make sense? They're not alive. Yeah, they don't belong here. Yeah. It's crazy. Any questions? Everybody's late. So much information.
So if you do know that you are like intuitive, are you willing to do classes to teach?
Everything I
myself.
teach. Yeah, everything I teach. So meditation classes, intuition classes, ascension classes, every single class I teach. Right, Christine?
Mhm.
Everything I teach empowers you to develop your intuition, your third eye, your claircognizance, everything. Your connection to your guides, everything. Your masters. We do ascension class. We talk to the master teachers, the ones that are 7-8 feet tall. Oh yeah, you're gonna face him or her. Oh yeah.
I need that.
At
That could
Ascension.
never come. I need that.
You'll get here.
I plan it. I keep playing it. Like tonight, I'm so surprised. Like I'm here. Like my husband came home so early, and I'm like, "What the heck? Let me just leave before he changes his mind."
That's funny.
Oh my god.
And my next ascension is canceled because it's the 4th of July. So it's gonna be August. So it's always the first Thursday. Mhm. But all the classes I teach to do that. It's not about you gonna go from here to here. It's a process. There's a lot of stuff that you gotta change. You gotta feel again. You gotta get rid of what your ego thinks. You gotta get rid of stuff in your subconscious. You gotta get back to the way you were when you were a kid, when you were talking to all these spirits, and people were thinking that you didn't know what you were doing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not talking to grandma, you know, and you show her a picture. This is grandma, you know, and then they hide the picture because they're freaking them out. You're freaking your family out.
I had the priest and the sage, and they thought I was like crazy or evil. So I went to the soul.
You had to see. That's funny. So, everything I told you tonight, everything I learned from the guys, from all the readings and all the classes and all the meditations and my own personal experiences. And you know what? I don't know it all. I really don't. Like, this is just the tip, man. Like, there's so much more. There's so much more. But if I can help you in any way possible, I want to get the message across and tell you so that you're not doing that. control your ego, listen to your spirit guides. They love, love, love you. They are devoted to you. They know your pain because they lived here before. They know what you're going through. You know, ask them for help. They'll guide you. They'll tell you what to do. I promise you. Listen to your guides. They'll show you signs. Meditate. Do my meditations online. They'll help you a lot. And if you think of anything after tonight, you know, email me, call me, whatever, and then we can discuss it.
I'll call you.
Yeah, you can
You
call
said
me,
that.
you can email
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do one-on-one. Like if you want to do one-on-one session, I'll talk directly to your guides, and your guides will tell me what you need to do, and I'll give you homework.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna promote her, Christina, she does sacred contracts.
I've seen that, and
So
I'm
it
interested
really,
in that.
it
yeah.
really helps you understand
Your
a
guides.
lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sacred
Sacred
contracts.
For
contract.
the,
I'm sorry.
That's your waypoint, that's your
It's
waypoint.
the contracts, so we
Go.
have houses.
We're done.
Houses and we
We're
have
done.
Thank you.
Yep.
archetypes.
Thank you.